So let me share my screen. Just tell me a little bit about yourself, like how many employees, how many desks, how long have you been searching for this Office app so I can speak to some of your comments?
So basically, we just kind of started looking. So we're expanding in the office, and basically, with COVID and everything, a lot of people have been working remote. But now we have some more people coming into the office, and with the expansion, there's just going to be a lot more cubicles and desks and offices and things like that. And we're trying to make sure every workstation is set up so they're all kind of like hotels, sort of. So you can kind of like rent the cubicle space or the office space for the day as needed.
Right. Okay.
Because I don't think we have like enough space for everyone to be in the office at the same time. So we want to find like a nice seamless way for everyone to rent the space as needed that day.
Okay. How many employees are there?
I would say anywhere from like 50 to 150.
50 to 150. Okay. And then how many locations do you have?
So it would just be the one corporate office.
Okay. So that's really one floor, is there?
Yes.
Okay. You're one floor. And so how many desks are you looking on a floor?
I think cubicles we're going to have somewhere between 20 and 35. And then there'll be some offices, maybe like 6 offices and 3 or 4 conference rooms.
All right. So, and you have Office 365, I'm assuming?
Yes.
Because that would be a major showstopper. We can stop the demo right now if you don't.
Oh, yes, we do.
Right. Okay. So you see my screen, you see a typical SharePoint modern site, do you?
Yes.
Okay. So I'm the CTO of Soho. I'm not a salesperson, so I'm not going to give you any PowerPoint. I'm just going to give you SharePoint. I generally do the technical architecture of these products and our services. And so I work with our team. We built this out for a few clients and we said, well, we could probably productize this. And that's what we did about 5 months ago when we've had quite a bit of interest on this for obvious reasons, given the environment that we're in. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you how you book a desk from an end user, and then I'm going to show you how, as like an admin, probably someone like yourself would basically add a floor and add cubicles and desks and basically administrator this. And then I'll just talk about some of the things which we've noticed with some of the clients that we've worked with. So this is your modern thing. I've actually had one booking here for the Chrysler building. Okay, so here I'm going to book my desk. So therefore I can choose my times. At the moment we have this, that you can only book a desk, you can only book a day. And what we found is that everybody really wants you to book a day. So unfortunately, if somebody needs to be in the office for 5 days, they need to do 5 bookings. Generally people like this is because people book for 5 days and then they're only in for 1 day.
Yeah.
Okay, and also we deliberately did not have repeat meetings. It's because people would just book the conference room for the next 24 weeks and they only need it for 5.
Yeah, absolutely.
All right, okay, so therefore I can do my times. This is all quite user friendly. These are the buildings and these could be floors as well. Okay, the Empire State Building, and here you've got your desks and then you've also got your locations as well. Okay, so here I'm on the Empire State Building. Okay, and I choose desk 1. Okay, I can also directly, if there's a ton of desks on there, I can jump to it from the drop down. There you go. And I hit reserve, and that's on my bookings. And then if we go into my Outlook, I get email notification coming across. Okay, and there you go. That's the Empire State Building booking.
Okay.
Okay, and if we open that, that's it there. And very conveniently, it also goes into your calendar.
Okay, great.
What day did I book? Okay, 28. Okay. And there you go there. So therefore you've got that and it's booked for you. So we've also done it as an email because what often happens is if you're booking conference rooms, people like to just forward that across to all the attendees of the meeting.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Any questions so far?
None so far.
Okay. So you can see this is the desks and it's all booked and it's all good, all full integration with Outlook, Office 365. That's the admin. So let's just talk about the magic behind the scenes. So the way SharePoint works, if I mention to you things like web parts, does that mean anything to you?
I don't think so.
All right. No, with SharePoint, these like zones, they're called web parts. Okay. So we've got another page. Okay. This is like lifting the hood up of this. And you can see like the administration. This is the administration. These are my floors. Okay. And these are my offices. So say, for example, I now want to add a floor because we've just expanded into a brand new building. Okay, I do this. Let me do 30 Broad, which as it happens is our company office in New York City. Okay, there's no floor plan because it's a brand new office. We've just expanded it. I'm going to update the floor plan right now. Okay, a Google map. Okay, so I do the Google Maps here. Copy that link. I paste the link in. Okay, so we've now updated the floor plan and we've got the link. There's no automated way of doing this. We now need to do the mapping of each floor. So with that being said, we'll go to the manager page right here, choose my office. Okay, so I updated the floor plan and of course there's no desks. So I now need to basically map that in there and call that office 1. Let's call this one office 5. Okay, now what we did was, okay, there's something called like an employee. Believe it or not, when we first built this, we thought, look, this is vanilla. It's very, very simple. There shouldn't be a problem. There shouldn't be any variation of the business process. We're totally wrong on this because everybody wants slight variations of stuff. So what we're working on is an employee might be in this office 4, okay? So let's just call him Tom Daly. Okay, so therefore he's in office 4. So therefore he might be the CEO. And he, as it happens, in 2 weeks' time, he's on vacation. So you know what? He can actually therefore sublease his office out to people. And then after 2 weeks, he gets released back for him to come back. Make sense? Okay. Some people were like that. Some people said no. So let me just say, we've sort of got 80% of the base, as you can see, but that 20%, which is generally on a case-by-case basis, there's a lot of flexibility that we can add this in. So that's there. So what I've just shown you, I've shown you how to do a booking, how to update, how to add a floor, and how to basically map the desks. Okay, not that complicated. So the other thing as well, which there's a lot of like business rules you can do. So for example, the Empire State Building, if I do the 28th again, okay, I can't do a second booking on that date because I did it for somebody else. I just did it 2 minutes ago.
Okay.
So there's business logic in here. This is what we did as our base, should we say, foundation. Okay. Now we have got the ability to sort of say, if you're an admin, because the executives will never do this.
Right.
The admin person can basically do everything and anything. Okay. But I'm like a regular user, so I can't do a booking on the same day, even in different locations as well. I will have to go to a different day.
Gotcha.
It's a simple product to use. It doesn't take a lot of time and effort, and I've just demoed it to you in 10 minutes. Okay.
Yeah, that's good because people could forget they book something and then go to book something else. And it's like, oh, wait, can't do that. So that's a good little reminder too. Yeah, it's in your calendar as well. There's lots of these variations, but this covers 80% of your requirements. And generally, when we're speaking to clients, they sort of say, oh, can you do this? Can you do that? Can you do that? I think, yeah, we can. Our suggestion is, why don't you just have this installed, okay, and just use it for a month, and then let's just speak in a month's time, and we'll see with all these little edge cases that you're referring to, do you still want them? And they say, as it happens, we feel like we don't need it. We love the tool, but all the stuff we were using, we're really all just like nice to haves. Yeah. Okay. So you can see I can jump on this. If you've got like 35 cubicles, you can jump to those cubicles right now. And of course, that one office is booked. That's green because I booked it earlier. And that's therefore it's unavailable. So you can see what's available and what's not available. Okay. One of the things in the roadmap for the next release, which is coming up, I believe, actually, 1st of February, people wanting to know who's booked cubicles by hovering over. Okay, so therefore I can see whether Steve's sitting or Janet or where other people are. Okay. And that's pretty much about it, really. Oh, so you can see... So if somebody else reserves a cubicle, can you see who reserved it?
Yes, you can. Yes.
Yes. Okay.
So you can see, because maybe you want to like cluster in with your team.
Yes, exactly.
And it's not just squares. You can book, you know, the conference room table. And we've got one client, they wanted the ability that after a booking of a cubicle, there's a release notification, which is standard SharePoint, to the office person to say, clean this office and clean this cubicle. Okay. So it can be wiped down as well. And then you've also had people who want equipment requests added into this as well. So you can see Okay, the engine of this is installed. How you want to tune it is really your choice. We can go absolutely crazy on this if you really want.
Yeah, I mean, I think we plan to have every workstation set up. We have like a uniform work setup that we give everybody. And we're always thinking the simplest for the end user, the better. So if it's just purely for the booking of the space, that would probably just be perfect.
I'm a firm believer, like when I'm on a call like this and there's a lot of requirements, I always say, this is interesting. This is very different to when we spoke a week ago. Why don't we just sort of like get it installed and get you testing it and doing a proof of concept, and then let's speak in 2 weeks. Normally, a lot of what they were asking, they felt was more nice to have, and that punch list comes down considerably.
Yeah. I mean, so it seems pretty simple. So if we have just like the basic paper floor plan like this, we just kind of upload that document and then we go from there with labeling each space, correct?
Yeah, you're absolutely right. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, that seems pretty straightforward to me.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and that floor plan, you can do that in Visio or PowerPoint.
Okay, so what you had mentioned, trying it for 2 weeks or trying it for the month, like what is the process of that?
It's actually trying it out for until the 1st of March. Well, let me ask you, do you actually have a SharePoint admin team or is that you?
That's an excellent question. We do have a SharePoint. I'm not sure the logistics around it.
Okay, what you can do is the person technical, they basically download it and install it, and then we do what's known as an onboarding call with you. And prior to that call, you need to have the cubicle floor plan on this. So we'll do one onboarding, which is basically just making sure you know where to click and you're not immediately stopped, which generally doesn't happen. And then we'll have a check-in call with you 3 or 4 days later, like to make sure that you're all good and people are using this. Any clarifying questions you can answer.
Okay. And what's the general, the nitty gritty of like, what is the general pricing for like, because I think we would, since we just have one floor at the moment, it's probably just one large floor plan.
Okay, so it's 16 seats per floor plan. Okay. So you got 35. Okay, so therefore, and then you got the desks as well. So this is going to be 3 floor plans, basically, isn't it?
Gotcha. Okay.
Okay, so with that being said, that's 3 floor plans. So it's basically $180, $270 a month.
Okay.
Okay, and we're giving you a promotion until the 1st of March. So you actually don't need to pay for anything for the first month, basically.
Basic math here. For every 16 seats, it's $90 a month,
Yes.
right? Yeah, okay. All right. Is there anything else that you think I should know?
Do you guys use Teams?
Yes.
Okay, so you could do the booking in Teams as well.
Okay.
And we're very easy to do business with. So we can install it for free until the 1st of March. So there's no risk on you by any means. And, if you've got questions, feel free to reach out to us.
Sure. All right. I think that's all the questions I have. If you could send this recording to me, that would be great.
We'll do that.
And I guess my one last question, how long is the general onboarding process?
You can install the thing in probably about 7.5 minutes. The onboarding will normally take about an hour. We book an hour. It depends how tech savvy the person is, but you can see it's quite easy. And then basically we'll sort of like get you going, and then we'll say, why don't you carry on booking the floors while I'll get a cup of coffee. And then when you come back, you said you're good to go in a week, then you should be live. Okay, and then we have a check-in call about a week later just to make sure everything's working and you're taken care of.
And then do you offer a yearly subscription versus monthly?
Yeah, we do. Yes.
Perfect.
The reason why this is a subscription like this is because some people just don't want demos. Here we got a demo. If you said, look, just send us an invoice and we'll pay by yearly, we can do that for you.
Okay. We're just trying to get away from those, monthly charges and things like that. Perfect. All right. Well, I think that's all the information I need. Again, if you could send me this recording and I'll send it to my team, and then I should get back to you sometime next week.
Fantastic.